I'm here in my rental car in frozen, frigid, Arctic temperature like Rapid City, South Dakota. I'm told that the weather's not always like this in February. I just got really lucky. It's been hovering right around 0 degrees the last couple of days, and lots of snow, which is cool. Something that I, don't normally see where I live. But it's also a lot to handle, and it does add a certain element to this visit of hardship. Not that enduring freezing cold temperatures is particularly hardship when you've got a warm place to sleep and you've got a rental car that works and the roads are basically functional. The roads have been a little iffy these last couple of days, but it looks like they've gotten the snowmobile out, and so now it's looking quite a bit less dicey out there. But driving to Mass this morning, as a good observant Catholic, I was feeling a little bit on edge there for a bit of the time. It was mostly just snow in the road, but there were some spots of ice, and I am absolutely no good driving on ice. So anyway, I don't know if anybody cares about any of this stuff. I'm recording this video just because I'm wanting to reflect on this visit, because today's my last day. It was sort of a whirlwind trip. I'm going back to the southeast to where I live tomorrow, and some of you were wondering why I'm here. Essentially, this is like a scouting venture. I have heard a lot about South Dakota. Of course, it's got a very photogenic governor, who you probably know about as well. Very photogenic and very outspoken, pro-liberty governor. It's a state that never locked down, and it's got this. It's taken on this allure. I mean, I guess it's always had this hardy frontier, don't fuck with me kind of spirit, just like this whole region kind of has, not just this state, but the states surrounding it. Wyoming, North Dakota, Utah, Montana, and so forth. But I think with the elevated crisis, the state of things over the last several months, almost over the last year, with this I'll just call it pandemic op. That's what I'll stick with from now on. This pandemic op, and it's really the difference between those regions of the country who allow for or value or encourage personal liberty and see constitutionality and limited government really meaning what they say, and the whole idea that people should be left alone, and if they believe this terrible virus is actually sweeping the world and they're in danger of it, then it's up to them to take precautions. And it's not a reason to punish the economy. It's not a reason to punish the able-bodied and those who are in really very little danger of any kind. But you see a great deal of the country just dropping headlong into this insanity, and it's been a very disheartening thing, but also a very eye-opening thing. To see the state and the powers that be generally, which are not limited to the state, of course, because the major players are behind the scenes the major players are unelected oligarchs, and to see the places in the country where they've just been allowed to run roughshod with these unconstitutional edicts and just generally behave. Paul Joseph Watson had a tweet that I saw recently, not that I'm on Twitter, but it was posted elsewhere, about how, it's as though that they've just assumed that those in power have just assumed that we don't have these freedoms, we don't have these liberties as God-given, but rather it's theirs, meaning the states, meaning the powers that be. It's theirs to give and to take. So they are appointing themselves to really to dictator. It's not hyperbolic to say giving themselves dictatorial powers and arbitrary powers anytime they declare an emergency, and that emergency they can just extend that emergency longer and longer and longer and longer. So all of that, is something I've taken very seriously and has really made me quite sober. Not that I wasn't very sober about the state of things before that. So I came here to South Dakota, and I just to, again, see what it was like. And I can say that here there are, there is greater liberty from what I have seen. It's not as though there aren't places that where the mask op is still happening. There are people who wear masks, but as well, but it's voluntary in most places. Everything is open. I recorded that video the other night when I went to a high school basketball game in the area. And it was amazing, just the sight. It was incredible. It was beautiful to see this crowd of people just dwelling there together, not, to put it frankly, looking like faggots with their stupid masks on, but just looking like an ordinary crowd. The only time I've gotten vibes like that over the last few months living in Georgia is when I would go to the beach. Those few days I would go to the beach and see people playing on the beach, and as if it were any other time, and people weren't broadcasting doom and gloom from loudspeakers every day, and it was incredible to see this sight. And then the next day, the following day, I went to a rodeo that was happening downtown. I didn't actually go to the rodeo itself. That would have cost money, and I'm on a budget here. But I went to the convention center area where the rodeo was happening. The rodeo was taking place within a specific part of the convention center where they had seating and they have the setup and everything. But outside of that, it was like a convention hall where lots of people, just like any other convention, except it was all geared towards farmers and ranchers. And so they were auctioning off livestock, and it's a totally different world than mine. I will admit that. I was an outsider there. And I would not fit in with these people if I lived here. It's a totally different culture than mine, but it still was wonderful just to be amongst all these people, and they're again, maskless, just carrying on as normal. Like the world was just like there had been no change whatsoever in the affairs of the world. And at the end of it all, there was this big party, this big shindig, like in a beer hall, and it was crowded as hell. I took a video of it. Maybe I'll broadcast that video as well. And I was very, it's like so often in my life, I was apart from this crowd. I was not a part of this crowd. I was aware of being different, not only because I wasn't wearing, cowboy boots and a hat, a 10-gallon hat, and I didn't have the uniform. Not that everyone was dressed that way, but you know what I'm saying. So I was definitely an outlier within this culture, but it was so great just to be in this packed room of men and women, who just didn't give a fuck, and didn't give a fuck specifically about what Joe Biden and his controllers are telling us we have to be doing these days. And they're dancing to country music, and I'm not necessarily a country music fan, but I'm not against it. I don't look down on it. That's the difference between me and others who are of my culture, I guess. The suburban, urban culture, intellectual culture, whatever you want to call us. So I was there, and it occurred to me, this is a beer hall. This is the site of a new beer hall putsch. So that joke is only going to make sense to certain snobs. If you don't get it, then I'm not saying this to be exclusive or just look up beer hall putsch. It's a German word, Putsch. And I was thinking, this is the site of the new beer hall putsch. Next thing you know, there's going to be a march on Rome, or march on like there was a march on Rome in 1921. There's going to be a march on DC, and these usurpers, these tyrannical usurpers, are going to be taken out. But that was just my fantasy. But it was still funny, and it was still great just to be among these kind of people, and to be aware that they are there, and that they are millions strong, and I felt their resolve. I felt that they weren't budging. And again, it's like I said in a video a few days ago, we are not the Branch Davidians. They can't burn or shoot us all. We are, if not half the country, we are a goodly plurality of the country. And, we aren't all the same, this plurality of dissidents, but we share certain things in common that set us apart from those who would want to control and tyrannize and cull us ultimately, or enslave us ultimately. So sorry for this being a kind of rambling video. I just wanted to summarize my experience here, because I know some of you were caught off guard. Most of you probably don't care that much. It's just like, oh, no Ickies in South Dakota, okay. But there were a few of you who had questions, like, what are you doing there? What's going on, man? And so I turned 50, and for my 50th birthday, I decided to scout this place out. And who knows, I might be back. I might be back for good. It all sort of depends on what trajectory my life takes. But I'm not going to get super personal here, because nobody cares. But anyway, that's South Dakota. There's a reason for hope, guys. Okay, all of you who are just in consternation and fear, and who just seem to revel in your black pill, taking your black pill several times a day, your black pill enema. There's a reason. There's lots of reason to be optimistic. And I say that as someone who is constitutionally pessimistic. I'm not a look on the bright side kind of person, but I think I've learned the need to be to cultivate hope and to be aware of the necessity and the responsibility to cultivate hope. And so I hope that this video causes you all to feel a little bit hopeful. And I think I will post the video of the beer hall putsch, and just for kicks, since I've posted some of my other touristy videos, where the whole thing has been, look, I'm in a nightclub with live music and nobody's wearing a mask. And some of you, that's just like, okay, so what? But believe me, there are a lot of places, including my own state, where I don't think that's going on. I don't think there's live music, and I know that there isn't. People aren't just going around in bars not wearing masks, listening to live music. At least I don't believe that's happening in my neck of the woods. So once again, I'll show you all that video. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your questions. Thanks for your interest in what I'm doing. What the hell I'm doing out here. But it's been good. It's been a good trip. It's been an injection of hope, and even in the midst of this barren, freezing wasteland, there is a spirit that has not been killed, and is as strong as ever. Thanks for watching. Andy Nowicki, altrightnovelist.com.